आज इस मॉड्यूल में इंडियन फिलॉसफी, रिमेंबर वी सेड इंडियन culture and civilization was developed on the river Indus, about 200 to 300 BC. So we would like to see how the management principles got influenced through the Indian texts, Indian writings, and Indian teachings. That's why we talk of some of those texts which were written by Indian scholars. Upanishads, Veda, Gita, just to make sure that in history you know that besides Greek, because Greek was the one, their philosophers influenced on the Western management scholars, Western theories. That's what we read in general, coming from Europe or North America or Canada or Australia. But at the same time, now I think you will see some Eastern theories coming up, especially when the Chinese economy is telling in the world that yes, we are also one of the power. So looking at the 300 to 200 BC and looking at these texts, Bhagavad, Gita, Mahabharata, some of those texts. And those texts were written in India, and these teachings, they're talking about how the principles of organizing and leading and influencing and delegating was being done in India. So certainly, there is some influence of those principles on the theories and the concepts which were written in the management books. Although these books were mostly philosophical and theological, उनके मजहब से उनका ताल्लुक है, उनकी स्कॉलरी टीचिंग, उनकी फिलॉसफी से उनका ताल्लुक है. लेकिन देखिए, मजहब की टीचिंग, हमने ओल्ड टेस्टामेंट की बात की, हम चाइनीज की, ग्रीक फिलॉसफर्स की बात कर रहे हैं, उसका इन्फ्लुएंस डे टू डे लाइफ में होता तो है. किस तरह से लोग चीजों को डेली लाइफ में, ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में, घर में, चर्च और मस्जिद में, टेंपल में अपनी एक्टिविटीज करते हुए उनको ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं. So looking at the theology viewpoint, you will find a dialogue in the Indian philosophy, Indian theology. A dialogue between the God, Indian God, Krishna, and his follower or subordinate. Subordinate is the concept which is more known into the management. But follower is the concept which you attach with leadership. So God Krishna is talking to Arjun, and Arjun is known as a warrior and he is the follower. And Arjun is told by the God Krishna that you must banish all your emotions, be logical, and perform your duty in the best way possible, wherever you are assigned. And have a calm mind. Now notice now, this calm mind you will not find in the Western philosophy. That is why you study stress. That is why you study depression and the factors which lead to depression. But in the Indian philosophy, there is a technique known as yoga. Yoga is a tool or a technique which produces calm mind, because they believe that calm mind would be a serene mind, would be a peaceful mind. And a peaceful mind will be more creative, will be more effective, will produce more results. And of course, when we look at another book, Athashastra, इस किताब के 150 chapters हैं. Of course, it was written 300 BC. It talks about more into the administration, how the duties and the roles and the responsibilities be performed. Of course, it talks about the kings. But whatever is written for the king in this book, according to Indian philosophy, they say king is not above the law. So whatever is written for a role and responsibility and authority and power for the king will also apply among other people as well. And then how to collect the revenue. Finance is very important. Revenue is very important. How to collect it and how the treasury has to be managed. And of course, very important philosophical concept that kings are not above the law, and they should hold into the Indian philosophy a concept known as dharma, that you must be performing your duty in the righteous way possible, in the best way possible. So you see, some of these concepts from Indian philosophy and many of these concepts from Greek philosophy and some of these Chinese will be coming up have an effect on the Western management thought.